Violent Night. This is the new David Harbour movie that's like a Christmas action movie. Um, yeah, I I wanted to see this because really like David Harbour, and I feel like this dude, outside of Stranger Things, just has not had a win. Like he just has not. And so I was excited for this movie because it looked like a lot of fun. And sure, it's a kind of like a lot of what we see with Christmas movies. Like Christmas movies now are no longer happy, joy filled. They're kind of mean spirited, and like violent movies like this. So this movie is actually one of the things I was very surprised for. It is quite. It doesn't try to be mean spirited. It actually tries to be the opposite. Because in this movie, you start off with a Santa who is tired and talking about how it's going to be his last year, and then through the course of the movie, rediscovers why he's Santa, and that's a beautiful story in this movie. And it's I enjoyed that aspect of the movie. But at the beginning of this movie, he's calling kids little shits and things like that. So you just watch it going, you're going, oh, okay, this is that. So this is I think this movie was special in that front. Like it, yeah, sure, it's a violent action movie where Santa's killing people, but at the end of the day, this is trying to be a meaningful movie about Christmas spirit and not letting those things go, even when you do get older and things like that. It captures the meaning of like Christmas through this movie, and that's kind of like fun through the aspect of this movie. And so I didn't expect that. David Harbour, of course, is great as Santa. Like as if this was just a violent, bloody action movie, he would have been great as Santa. If he was just if it was trying to be something more, he would have been great as Santa. So both versions of this movie that could have been made, this is the better option, and also David Harbour's great in it, as he of course is going to be. I think this is just a really sweet movie. I did have issues with this movie. First of all, the action, while fun in this movie, I think what's annoying about this movie with some of the action, just a little bit of the action, it was a little too shaky cam, felt a little bit lazy at a couple points, but other than that, it was fine. Um, where I really take issue with this movie is the pacing. This movie goes on a little bit too long, and David Harbour, while fun in this movie, he does have to share. He split his screen time through the most annoying, mean spirited piece of shit family you've ever heard. And you want them to die in this movie because they're just awful. And I get part of the story of the movie is they become better throughout the movie. But you see, like, even the ants, terrible. There are lines said about certain characters in the movie. Like, I think there's a line said about one of the kids being accused of sexually assaulting a student at a school and getting kicked out or something like that. And you're like, that never came back up. But it just weirds you off. So it's like this family's mean spirited. And yeah, they become better throughout the movie, but even at the same time, they don't. And I think it hurt this movie because, like, I was just buying my time waiting for David Harbour to come back and kill a dude and slice him and slice and dice these people because it's just like that's what I want to see in this movie. It's awesome. But then you're going through that to this to that to the and you're just like, no, I don't really. So that's where I draw issue with this movie is that other than that, I think it's a fun movie and you absolutely should go check it out if you're into these types of movies. And, and also if you're someone who's kind of bitter with how mean spirited our Christmas movies are, I would say go watch this because it's not mean spirited any like most Christmas movies. This isn't a bad Santa. This isn't something like that. This is a movie that's trying to have fun. But and I also feel like this movie feels like someone watched Die Hard and got really sick of that debate. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And said, let me just go make our own Die Hard, but make it an actual Christmas movie. There is no disputing that this is a Christmas movie, but it's also kind of a Die Hard knockoff in some instances. You have foreign people trying to steal something and kidnapping a family, and then you have someone who's very similar to John McClane, which is this case is David Harbour's character, saving people. It's just it just happens to be Santa instead of John McClane, and so that leads to be a lot more fun. I did really enjoy this movie, not as much as I was hoping to. I think that family and the pacing and some of the shaky cam action did drag it down just a little bit for me. So instead of being like, an A minus, this is a B plus type movie, basically. And I'm okay with that. It's a B movie. That's just what it wanted to do. And it did what it wanted to do.